Hello everybody and a very warm welcome back to my latest Vinylfinds plus the Shrink Must Go video. On the weekend there was the mega record fair in Den Bosch in the Netherlands, and I'm still overwhelmed. I'm still dreaming of piles and piles of records. I enjoyed it very much, met some great people there, but overall I have some mixed feelings of it, and I will get to that later on. I bought a couple of records and I bought some Grail records. I'm super excited about it, and of course some of them are in shrink and I will open it up. Yesterday I showed on Michael 45 stream together with Dante some of these records, and I was saying that I'm opening up the shrink and will listen to them, and immediately some people got in touch with me over Instagram saying, "Oh Nadine, please don't do that. You will lose a lot of money and all of this." But I do understand your point, but for me, I buy these records to listen to them. And keeping them in the shrink for so long, I made the experience with some records there were in the shrink for 50, 60 years, they were warped. So it's not always the best thing to do that. I do understand that for some people, a shrinked record is more valuable than a not shrinked record, but for me, I'm not a museum. I buy the records to play them. That's my opinion. I do respect other people's opinion as well, of course, but that's mine. I'm going through these records pretty fast because I've bought quite a few and I don't want to bore you out too long. I also did make shot some footage from Friday and Saturday. It's not too long. You will find this footage at the end of this clip, so you get a little impression. Why I have these gloves, I show you later on. Okay, let's start. Carla Thompson, Memphis Queen, reissue, $30. You can see that. Great record, and I do hope I find one day an original one. Barbara Aiken, also reissue of I Did It. Price stickers at $25. Great shape. Once again, reissue. Walter Jackson, I'm a sucker for the song Feelings. I love it in every version available, and he did a great version of that song. And here's the original for $10. It's still in shrink, but it's opened. And what I also want to point out, I have never ever, and I've been there a couple of times, seen so many records with punch holes, cutouts, drill holes, and that was one of the overall problems. The quality of the records is going down and down and down because the good versions are kept by the collectors in their collection. They won't sell it. So you will see quite a few records which have a punch hole, a cutout, or whatever. I made my peace with it. I can play the cover, and I buy the records because of the music. I got a test pressing from Dante from one of his projects a couple of years ago. He signed it even for me, and it's electronic. Like it very much. So Dante, once again, a big thank you. I love the Pablo label, and I was hoping to complete my Pablo collection with Ella Fitzgerald. I'm also a huge Ella Fitzgerald fan. I've only found 2 records from Pablo. These are between 5 to 12 euro in a great condition. Here we have Ella Fitzgerald, Joe Pass, and Count Basie, recorded in 1971. And this record features some great stuff. I Can't Get Started, I Cover the Waterfront, Little Darling. So, great find. You know I love gospel, so I found for €5 this double LP set, Gospel Now, the Robert Pattinson singers live in Europe. I still need to get rid of the stickers, but otherwise I'm cleaning all the records with fire lightning for lightness fluid. I don't know the English word at the moment, but this is what I use to clean the covers. You have no idea what dirt comes out of this, and I also get immediately rid of the plastic sleeves. Staple Singers, $5, original stacks from the Staple Singers. It was in great shape. I love Sylvester, and I'm so happy that I got my favorite album finally now on vinyl. I kept the original price sticker from '86, where this record was 23 Deutschmarks, which was quite expensive for this record. Someone Like You, Sooner or Later. This is a great album. $5. Madeleine Kane, Cherie, from late 70s. She did some great disco records back in the day. Also Forbidden Love is included in this one. $5. And I'll show you what really impressed me is here on the top you can see a concept picture, and there's a huge crowd of people listening to her music. So the 12-inch also from Forbidden Love is great. $5. Wendy Alani and the Dynamics from 1977. Honestly, I have never heard of her, but I like the cover art, and honestly what I really found very fascinating was on the back there's a sticker from King's Record Shop in Barbados. And also this record was manufactured in Barbados, so was cheap, $5 I think, around that. So really eager to know that. Black Ivory, I love this group. Once again, you can see there's the discount mark, let me put it that way. Black Ivory, I love their debut album, but they did some great recordings. This was 18 euros. Barbara Aching, 7 Days of Night. Little punch hole, it's barely visible. I think this was 15 or 20 euros for this one. I finally found Lolita Holloway. This was, I think, a 15 euro record. Vinyl looked good, no issues with that. When I was home and cleaning the record, I saw that someone tried to repair a pretty huge damage here with tape, and also here on the front is tape. These records are old, and finding these in a minty condition for a reasonable price is getting more and more difficult. I talked to some dealers who opened for that. We were there on Friday. This is more for the dealer's day, and it's not so crowded. And on Saturday, I met a dealer who I know for a couple of years, and it was quarter past 9, so 15 minutes after the fair opened, and he was like a little panicked because someone just came over and broke my holy moly wall, the complete wall, and some other cherry records I had. So I now have to go and look around for other dealers if I can buy something there. Otherwise, I'm done with records. No, let's start up here. Gospel. These were each 20 euros. Gospel records. They looked good, but when I cleaned them, I found from this one on side to some scratches. I do hope they're not audible, but otherwise I haven't seen them in the wild, and I think 20 euros. Also these ones cut out here and cut out there. But once again, I can't play the cover, so my second Pablo find, Ella and Nice. I love Ella. I can't repeat it enough. And she sang on this one, Something Close to You, Put a Little Lovin' in Your Heart. So this was $5. And look at this. This is like new. $5. You're still with me? Good. All right. William Bell. This was, I think, also 10 euro. Cut out, but otherwise great, and I love this record. Marjorie Joseph. I'm a huge Marjorie Joseph fan. Got this. This was, I think, it might be 15 to 20 euros. The cover looks very beaten up, but the vinyl was fine. It also was a promo copy, so I did have this record for a long time, but a friend of mine instantly fell in love with it while we played it, and it's a 10 to 20 euro record, so I gave mine to him as a present, and now I found it again. I think this was 20 euro. Overall, VG condition, but I was on one stall who had especially funk and soul records, and I looked like everywhere in the time I was there. Some records I only found there, and that's an okay price with me. This was a recommendation. I'm not so sure if it was from Eve or from John in one of the Soulstream. Laura Lee. This one is a 14 euro record. The cover looks a little aged, but this is a fantastic album. If you have a chance to check Laura Lee out, do it. Just a Melody. Young Hold On Limited. This is mostly a cover album. My Whole World Ended, Just a Melody. I heard it through the grapevine. By the time I get to Phoenix, Light My Fire. But this is a fantastic record. This was I've seen it for 25. This was 28. So actually this one I saw a couple of times around the same price range, and yeah, great. Also this one I won't find it in my local stores. Okay, €5, €5. Debbie Jacobs, she had some great recordings in the late 70s and the beginning of the 80s. So this is a €5 record. If you're looking for this kind of stuff, you will find plenty of stores there. If you're starting your record collection, or if you're trying to complete your record collection with some of these records, there's 5 to 10 euros records where there are a lot, and you can also make, if you buy many of them, good deals. And Peoples from 1977, This Is My Heaven. Also, this is not a cutout, but I don't know the word for it. Chainsaw, saw. Some sellers on Discogs describe it as seller's mark, so I know that this is a damage. But finding these kind of records without any issues was a near impossible task. So, and Peoples. Can't go wrong with that. Peoples. Rock Gospel from Motown, The Key to the Kingdom, was €10. Cover was beaten up if you want to have records for a decent price who are not so common, you have to live with some of these things. But once again, I can't play the cover. All right, this one I was missing in my Jerry Butler collection, and that was You and Me. Also, this one has a little punch hole. I think that was €10. Yeah, I think, wow, we've made it so far. Now, you're still awake? Great. Let's get into the Grails, and we'll discuss the gloves and open up. Highest Cotton. He only made one album in 1977. This is a record between 70 to over €100. I made a good deal on it. Secret Lover, fantastic album. If you find that somewhere, go and have a listen to it. It's a great record. Baby Hughes Story, VG. Finding this one in the wild is very, very difficult. So I was very happy to find this one. Is my jacket? Yes, because I was all the time moving. Okay, so finding this one in the wild is super, super difficult. So I'm very happy with finding this one. It's not the cheapest record, I'll tell you that. About Soul, Jackie McLean. This is the second press from 1968 on the Blue Note label, also cut out. This is a record you pay around 60 euros for this, and the condition is playable. Solomon Brook, also second release of this album from 1964, and you know if you haven't reissue if you see that sticker which says mono or stereo equipment. So Solomon Brook. And Shrink, and yes, I will open up the Shrink, is the BCM and Masquire. I got this for $5, and you know, I love it when they put pictures of the recording sessions or from the people who recorded this album on the records, because you get an impression, and they seem to have a lot of fun. Also, record you don't come along very often is the Fats Giants Orchestra, Plays Today and Yesterday, $30. Great record. And this is not in shrink, it's open, so we get that from the pile. This one is a 30 euro record. It's still in shrink. It also has a punch hole. I wanted this record for a long time. I'm a huge Marjorie Joseph fan. This one was missing in my collection from her. I found 2 other versions of that record, but the vinyl was totally beaten up, so I decided to go for the shrink record, even if it's warped, so I'll flatten it. I'll show you this one a little later. Also, Retta Young. This is what I consider really a grail. This is a few $100 record. I got a very, very good deal on it. Also, this one has the discount mark, but it's a fantastic record, and finding this one in the wild is a near impossible task this time, so I'm very happy about this one. Okay, Lou Courtney. This is not an overall super rare album, but finding it in a certain condition is very difficult. When I found this one, the cover had water damage or discount marks or whatever, and I found this one on a booth and I wanted to have it. I looked at the record and I was like, wow, this is, yes, it's playable. But the seller said, well, listen, I don't give you a discount. And you will see, if you come back in 2 hours, this one is sold. And I've seen it with a couple of records where I was like thinking about, oh, maybe I come back later and maybe I work out a deal. I came back and these records were gone because you won't find them anymore. So I got this. I'm happy to have it. It's a fantastic record. And Eddie Kendricks covered some songs of this record on a later release. John Garrett on the Chess label, also a very rare album to find, and also not the cheapest one, also not in the best condition, but happy to have it. Miracles by Tommy Johnson, the kind of gospel record, private press, still in shrink. Only 300 were made. I will open it up. Skin Hot, a funky disco album from 1980, private press, still in shrink. I will open it up. Disco Ladies, I'm so happy to find this record. This is a tremendously good disco record from 1977. And now I tell you why shrink is not always the solution. You can see here at the corners everywhere, this is mold because of bad storage or whatever reason. I could say now, okay, I bought this record, I can listen to it on YouTube, I can put it in my shelf, and in 20, 30 years when I might be getting rid of my collection because I'm getting too old or whatever, I resell this as shrinked. Yes, I could do this, but the mold is not getting better, and hey, I want to play the hell out of this record. I can hardly wait, and that's why I have the gloves, because I don't want to get this mold on my fingers. I had once a very interesting experience with the Aretha Franklin record where the mold was all inside their album. You don't want to go through this, believe me. A Grail, a super Grail. Who's Kimberly? This is a pre-release version of her 1971 album, and if you checking from Who's Kimberly, you will find out whose soul artist is behind this record, so it's worth checking it out. So somebody put a stamp on it. You won't even find this version of the cover art on Discogs. In the light of the fair, this record looked good to me. It was dirty as hell, and I cleaned it a couple of times in Mighty Gritter, and it was heartbreaking when the clean record came out. It's not even VG minus, honestly. But yeah. The thing is, when will this record ever will turn up again? Yes, I could make the easy way and go on Discogs finding it, but finding it in a decent quality is very difficult. Shall we now see the super grail I got? Time and Place by Lee Moses on the Marble Records label. This label was a Texcam label, It's a fantastic deep soul album, and at the moment you won't find it on Discogs, and getting this record overall is very, very difficult. And my favorite part is this 99-cent sticker. I will keep it. This is the back. And that I'm ever holding or having an original copy in my hand is unbelievable to me. So that was my holy grail. And also when I cleaned it, it was good, and I wasn't immediately crying because there were scratches all over the place. So that was pretty good. So yeah, these were my grails, and this is actually also the reason why I go to Den Bosch, because I wouldn't find these kind of records at my local record store. Period. And now I would say, let the fun begin, and let's open up the records, right? If this is too wild for some of you, or you say, oh, please don't do it, you can fast forward to the footage of the fair. Let's start with this one. So you know I'm not so super good at this, so if it takes too long, you might play a little music, but this one was fast. Wow, I'm getting good at it. I removed the whole shrink later on. All right. Welcome record after decades. This is fresh air. This is what we call fresh air. Come on. Yeah, some paper scuffs, but hey, it's out. All right, now recorded live. I think we play a little music over it. Out of Strength, Savoy label. All right. But this is really tough to open. This is very thin vinyl. Wow. These were also typical for some of these private pressings, that they were so thin. Some of you need to be tough. From the messages I got, you need to be tough right now. I totally get that. So this is very much pressed together. Wow, this is tight. Let's do it the easy way, or the not so. So this is like glued together with the cover. So if you want to have the records in your shelf to just being in shrink and look good, yeah, but this is, some of this really tight. the mold one. It sticks to the cover, you have no idea. Never seen that. It's like it's been melted together with the cover. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so what I will do later on is I will do it right now. Don't take a deep breath. Don't take a deep breath. So thankfully no mold. This looks better than I ever expected. No mold on the record. So there's some pressing issues, but overall this looks great. Very happy with it. So and I will tear open all these paper sleeves because I don't want to get scratches on it. I will try to clean this thing as best as I can, and we'll play it. And I can hardly wait to play it. So once again, that you stayed with me for so long. I hope you enjoyed my little selection. Maybe if you have some ideas or some recommendations for November or coming up for releases you might think should be worth checking out. I'll put you right here. Just let me know, and thanks once again for watching. See you next time, and yeah, have a great week. Thanks.
Allez, bon courage, ciao. Non, non, ils l'ont pas. Irgendwie löscht sich diese WhatsApp.
Sì, però...
No, per un caso. Ok?